Breaking news, the Lagina brothers have just found something that made them shudder, and the once buzzing dig ended abruptly. What terrifying mystery have they concealed? The reality they discovered might never be accepted by the world. The History Channel's popular reality series The Curse of Oak Island has come under fire in recent weeks following the discovery of some centuries-old indigenous artifacts, which prompted local officials to shut down a large portion of the show's dig operation, causing several archaeologists to be sent packing. Fans are already speculating as to whether the Laginas and their crew will ever experience a return to normalcy, not to mention the future of Oak Island. During the final dig on the island, the Lagina brothers and their crew unearthed a bizarre find, leading to the closure of excavation. While the Lagina brothers and metal detector specialist Gary Drayton have mostly found mud, wood, and other metal implements on the 140 acres of the purportedly cursed Oak Island, they have also uncovered a number of rare artifacts. But what precisely are these insane discoveries they managed during the final excavation? In the whimsical realm of Oak Island, there is yet another challenge for the men on the Curse of Oak Island. In an effort to prevent them from digging on the island, the Canadian government intervened. Finding underground entrances to what they think is riches was the objective, though regrettably, bureaucracy is getting in the way. The team discovered what could have been a hidden room next to the garden shaft. Doug engaged Dumas Contracting Limited to come in and work as excavators to dig them down and into these potential chambers. He did this by giving them a call. They think they have discovered pathways leading to a potential hidden treasure on the island. The crew was forced to wait since it would take 50 days to descend 75 feet. As a result, they thought they may have just discovered a network of tunnels and chambers leading to the fabled hidden wealth. Additionally, they think one of the artifacts they discovered was of Viking provenance, which is much older than they had anticipated. But there is a new issue now. The hire of excavators, according to the Canadian government, indicates that the Lagina brothers require a mining warrant even though they are not officially mining. Red tape has once again turned the authorities against the crew searching for wealth. Not all fans, though, appeared shocked. The Canadian government wants to stop a group of well-documented gold diggers from blindly rebuilding a wooden shaft that descends to an unknowable depth on an island where 6 treasure hunters have already perished doing the same thing, and they're the bad guys in this situation, a fan wrote on Reddit. The Canadian government has already meddled with the Lagina brothers' search for treasure on the Curse of Oak Island. They stopped conducting a significant portion of the island's excavation work in 2021. The Lagina brothers' crew discovered many hundred-year-old indigenous artifacts at this time. The crew found First Nation MCM pottery fragments on the island during Season 9. Marty Lagina stated in an episode at the time that they would avoid using archaeological techniques as they awaited the outcome of the situation. The only change that came as a consequence was a tightening of the show's rules. The brothers switched from conventional archaeological approaches to unconventional digging tactics at that time. This season, they improved on that by mapping out places beneath the island using modern technology, allowing them to locate hints and potential entrance routes without needlessly excavating. But the excavation led to a fresh dispute with the Canadian authorities. Will obstacles keep standing in the way of the Lagina brothers' search for the lost fortune on the Curse of Oak Island? Who knows? In the 6th season episode Voyage to the Bottom of the Coat, things take a worrying turn as treasure seeker Marty Lagina makes the optimistic but hasty declaration, "Here we are in H8. We're going to keep looking. What may possibly fail?" When metal detecting specialist Gary Drayton discovers a possible top pocket discovery amid the loot, the squad has no notion of the fate that is about to befall them. Coming from the more optimistic of the 2 treasure-hunting Lagina brothers, these words have an especially ominous ring to them. In a recent episode, the action in the Money Pit area came to a similar sudden halt when someone found what could be a bone fragment. The more the Lagina brothers and their team excavate, the closer they reach the legendary treasure. It's been almost a decade since they worked on unearthing the truth, but unfortunately, they never reached such a great height. Till now, this season left them and their fans shocked when they brought such discoveries to the audience's platter. However, things will take to the next level in The Curse of Oak Island Season 10, Episode 25, when the new discoveries connect all the pieces together. So, are they close to locating the treasure? Well, fans are curious to learn this, and the hits keep coming. The next episode will solve another enigma on Lot 5. Laird Niven resumes his excavation work, and the crew will search for the secret bar beneath the triangle-shaped marsh. As they move on, the team will continue digging but will soon get startling information that links Lot 5 to the triangle-shaped marsh. When the crew keeps digging in the money pit, they'll also discover a remarkable discovery. They are now more prepared than ever to solve the puzzle. Marty, Craig, and Charles have been getting ready to down the 82-foot shaft for the past week. The crew didn't think there could be a tunnel underneath the shaft's terminus since one of the sides kept sinking. They chose to independently verify it. Despite this theory, Charles made the decision to go first and offer his services to everybody, but he had to go through specialized training first. In order to achieve this, he descended and observed the garden shaft's dropping corner. After what he had seen, the group decided to dig at the bottom to see if there were any potential tunnels nearby. Marty, though, placed a hold on it. He intended to perform a self-check but needed more time to complete his dedicated training. Meanwhile, Alex, Rick, and Peter traveled to Italy to consult Umberto Musa, a specialist in coins and artifacts from antiquity. He examined the coins and found Oak Island had some ties to the Roman Empire as well. This happened as a result of one of the coins being a Roman coin. Byzantine gold coins were weighed against another coin to determine whether or not they were genuine. Laird Niven's continuing drilling on Lot 5 resulted in their most recent finding. In the meantime, Rick kept searching for answers in the area known as Nolan's Cross. For the time being, the group keeps looking into the enigmatic circular depression in the marsh. They discovered ceramic shards and charcoal fragments that they surmise may be remnants of a cooking pot or a campfire. The lead artifact that was discovered in the swamp is examined by experts in the war room. They think it is a lead cross and that it was probably made in France. This could be proof that the French had anything to do with the Oak Island enigma. The group looked for tunnels beneath the garden shaft using a probing drill. They discovered a little quantity of wood that could be proof of a tunnel. This time, Gary Drayton uses a metal detector to check the recent spoils while the heavy equipment operator continues his work. Two substantial iron spikes that Gary immediately finds are both dated to the 1700s. If the artifacts are actually from the 18th century, the narrator speculates that Smith's Cove flood tunnel builders, rather than the Truro Company who built Shaft 5 in 1850, are more likely to have left them behind. Later that day, Marty Lagina and Craig Tester participate via Skype at the War Room meeting of the Fellowship of the Dig. The crew is informed by Marty and Craig that they just met Jeremy Church, a geophysicist working for Eagle Canada's seismic exploration business, who appears in Season 6, Episodes 1 and 3. The data from the extensive seismic survey of the eastern half of Oak Island that Church and the rest of the Eagle Canada team completed back in Season 7, Episode 6, has finally been analyzed. The information points to the existence of an anomaly at a depth of around 60 feet close to the southeast corner of the cave-in pit. The anomaly significantly resembles the Smith's Cove flood tunnel since it is linear and looks to be moving toward the money pit. Remember how GPR specialists Steve Watson and Don Johnston found several subterranean anomalies close to the cave-in pit in Season 7, Episode 2? One of them was located at a depth of 82 feet, and the other was located at a depth of 91 feet. Following exploratory drilling, it was discovered that 4 feet of sand were present between 99 and 109 feet below the surface. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more blues from the world of mysteries. Today, Oak Island is still a fascinating location where tourists may follow in the footsteps of the pioneers by exploring the money pit's depths and taking in the incredible find that permanently altered the course of history. The island serves as a reminder that there are still mysteries to be solved, secrets to be revealed, and treasures hiding in the most unlikely places. Locations: click on the video links popping up for more interesting content, and we will catch you there in a minute. The curse of Oak Island has haunted humanity for centuries. Different minds have created different speculations, and some of them have even found physical evidence. So today, I am bringing you 3 wildest treasure stories about the island. The curse began to find different backings after the legend of Captain Kidd became folklore, a notorious pirate who was rumored to have buried treasure on Oak Island. It is said that he placed a curse on the treasure to protect it from being discovered. Fast forward to 2023, on June 7, 2023, the Lagina brothers made a significant discovery in their search for the Oak Island treasure with a new scanning tool called ground-penetrating radar. They were excavating in Smith's Cove, an area of the island believed to be the treasure's location, when they found a large stone slab buried 10 feet under the ground with strange symbols carved into it. The slab weighs around 1,000 pounds, is composed of limestone, and is about 3 feet broad, 2 feet tall, and 6 inches thick. The Lagina brothers sought professional aid for interpretation because they thought the symbols on the slab had some significance despite being unintelligible. Sadly, thus far, their efforts haven't been fruitful. This is the first significant discovery in the area since they started looking in 2015. The brothers are relentlessly digging in the region in the hopes of finding further leads, as they are persuaded that the slab may contain a hint as to the whereabouts of the riches. Besides the stone slab, they have also discovered several other priceless things at Smith's Cove, including coins, wooden planks, and beams, among other artifacts, over the years. But that's not all. The brothers claim that these discoveries show a sophisticated flood control mechanism was in place to safeguard the jewels, bringing them one step closer to finding the treasure buried on Oak Island. This time, they go on many different terrains and paths. On June 14, 2023, the team discovered a broken piece of old metal, adding more confusion to this decades-old treasure hunt. The metal has a diameter of approximately an inch and is about half an inch thick. It is made of a copper alloy and has an illegible raised pattern on one side that shows a face or human form. According to the brothers, this metal object was part of a coin made in the 17th century, which is a significant hint that Oak Island's treasures were hidden there then. Although unclear, experts think it to be a chunk of money. Who knows? On top of that, they struggle to explain the meaning of the coin's design. This metal chunk is the second most significant discovery in the area, signifying yet another crucial development in the ongoing search for Oak Island's treasures. The lads continue to scan the environment intently in search of fresh cues. To them, the design appeared as an ambiguous face of a human. The metal item, unexpectedly found 12 feet below the surface, weighs barely 0.5 ounces. Moving on with the discoveries, on June 21, 2023, the Lagina brothers made another important discovery: an unusual little piece of wood. It was initially built from oak, which has a remarkable texture. According to the Lagina brothers, the wood could have come from a ship buried on Oak Island in the distant past. This finding is crucial because it adds evidence suggesting a ship buried the wealth on Oak Island, implying that precious cargo like gold or silver may have been carried by the ship. In an interview, crew members said the piece of wood was discovered 15 feet below the ground's surface. Days later, while excavating Smith's Cove, they came upon a little ceramic shard they believed to be from a jug. The ceramic object is 2 inches in diameter and 0.5 inches thick. It was formed of a substance that mimics clay and has a particular pattern on one side. In the pattern, a flower or plant was observed. The Lagina brothers claimed the ceramic piece may have come from a jug used to transport wine or other liquids. This would prove that humans were residing on Oak Island in the 17th century, as it would show where the treasure could be buried. They have made several fascinating discoveries in their search, including several Roman artifacts. A lead sword is among the most important Roman artifacts that the Lagina brothers unearthed, and to everyone's surprise, Smith's Cove is where the sword was located. The sword is assumed to have been manufactured in Italy and dates to the 1st or 2nd century AD. It is ornamented with several motifs, including a dolphin and a trident, and is in generally good shape. The pottery fragment is another remarkable Roman artifact unearthed by the Lagina brothers. It was discovered in the island's Money Pit region and is supposed to have been produced in France, dating to the 4th or 5th century AD. It was decorated with symbols, including a cross and a sundial. The brothers discovered several other Roman artifacts on Oak Island. Besides the lead sword and the piece of pottery, coins, nails, and jewelry are some of these relics. Some people think that Oak Island was previously visited by Roman explorers because of the existence of these Roman articles. A reality television series called The Curse of Oak Island follows the hunt for riches on Oak Island. The brothers Rick and Marty Lagina, who have been looking for the loot for more than 10 years, are followed throughout the series. The Lagina brothers and their gang continued their hunt for riches on the mysterious island in the most recent episode of The Curse of Oak Island, picking up where the previous one left off. The crew concentrated on the marsh in this episode because it was the location of several intriguing artifacts they had previously discovered, including a lead cross and a stone with the Latin inscription 70 feet below. They were able to locate several abnormalities in the swamp using a range of techniques, including sonar and ground-penetrating radar, which they suspect might represent the remnants of buried buildings. One of the most intriguing oddities is a big rectangular object around 70 feet below the surface. The crew is excited to dig into this to see what they uncover, as they think it may be a treasure box. The crew must not harm what they seek, as the marsh is challenging and dangerous. Eventually, they excavated a tiny area of the item but could not see what was within. In a later episode, they will have to go back to the swamp to carry on their hunt. Yet the crew made modest strides in other parts of the island. They started digging a new shaft close to the marsh and continued to drill in the money pit location. The crew made some progress in their hunt for riches, even though they made no significant finds in this episode. They are optimistic that forthcoming episodes will include something important. As more proof emerges that Oak Island has long been the location of covert operations, or more precisely, caches of nearby treasure, the researchers also discovered traces of earlier human activity. That's not it, though. The real deal was the map they found on the island, which dated back to 1647. It was a French copy with the labels hatch, valve, and anchor, suggesting significant connections. In particular, it suggested that the money may have come from Africa, raising the intrigue around Oak Island. The brothers are convinced this map will point them toward their lost money. The series has followed their journey for over a decade, and it will be interesting to see if they can finally solve the mystery. The story goes that in 1795, while on an adventure on the island, a group of boys around the age of 13 discovered a dip in the earth. They began digging since they believed it to be a fake hole, and as they dug, they found multiple layers of wood and other things. Yet a mysterious flood stopped them in their tracks, filling the hole with water and blocking any further excavation. As soon as word of the discovery spread, treasure seekers from all over the world flocked to Oak Island to look for the loot. The Onslow Company, a group of financiers, organized the first orderly excavation of the money pit in the year 1803. This specific team was able to dig down to a depth of 90 feet before flooding, which happened in the pit once more, hampered their attempts. Meanwhile, the excavations were permanently halted in 1909 as the Oak Island Treasure Company went out of business. Since then, several other parties have tried to find the treasure buried on Oak Island, but the riddle of the money pit has remained unsolved to this day.